Hello people, and welcome back to part 7 of Palaven, our vanilla Cities Skylines build. I hope you're all having a wonderful day. And last time out we worked on finishing up the industry, bringing it up to level 5, and there was actually a building I forgot to place in, so if we very quickly jump back into our forestry tab, we have the forestry maintenance building, which is a little bit of fun. Let's have a look at what this thing does. So the maintenance building takes care of industrial buildings, increasing their utilisation rate and reducing wastage. Each maintenance building increases the storage capacity of industrial buildings by 5%, and auxiliary buildings need to be placed inside the industrial area, as do the rest of them. So I think we'll find a nice little place for this. We'll probably just push our industrial area out a touch more this way. And let's have a little look at what we can do with this thing. So let's temporarily break this road over here. And then we'll grab our forestry maintenance building. I think what we'll do is we'll grab that industrial road and we'll just come out to our angle and we'll continue doing the same thing we've been doing in this series, kind of lining things up alongside a main road as opposed to placing it on the main road. So we'll place this in. So I think this is going to be a really nice addition up to kind of the main road we've got going on along our industrial estate here. So we'll just hook it in around the back there for right now. I think that's going to be okay. And we can do some more detailing around here towards the end of the episode as well, which will be fun. Flying over to the town, we can see that one of our cemeteries is now full, which is not ideal, and we are not yet at the point in the game to where we can build the crematorium. So we need to place in another cemetery or two. And there's a really cute space kind of here. Now, I mentioned when we placed those cemeteries in back in like the second or third episode maybe. I'm not really a fan of placing them alongside a main road like this, but this little spot here I think would work okay. Because the walls around it almost kind of help to detail it anyway. You can like see them. You can see them here. So I think that's going to be okay. We may place in another one as well. We'll save the room for it. And of course it wouldn't be an episode of Palaven without a path through the middle. And we'll definitely save room for another one over there at some point as well. Slight little addition over here on the corner of the town centre as well. We have added in a little elementary school design. So this was placed off camera just to satisfy some educational demand. So there's a regular elementary school here and a small playground right next to it, and then just surrounded it all with some park fence. So it's kind of like, you know, the playground belongs to the elementary school is the idea that I'm going for with that. It's not bad. It can probably be refined a little bit more, but I think it's better than just placing it along the main road. And it gives this corner here a nice little view as well, which I think is nice. However, boys and girls, it is now time to get involved with the main build of today's episode, and I think what we're going to do is work on our first transport hub of Palaven, which will be fun. And this is going to be a bus transport hub. So buses, then, you know, I'm very much an advocate for trams. If you can use trams where possible, then use trams, but, you know, I do want to get some buses kind of in and around this place. So that's what we're going to do today. So let's go ahead and grab our 4-lane road with bus lanes. I'm going to have all my snapping on. And I think I want it to kind of sit here. So as you're almost arriving into this part of the town, I think we'll probably delete this rock as well. Maybe take out a few of these trees just so we can kind of work on the look a little bit more. So, you know, you arrive into this town and then you have this like big intercity bus plaza here that has its own little highway slip road entry for the buses to engage on their routes and whatnot and come through this side of town as well. So that's what we're going to do. So I'm going to go ahead and clear out a bunch of these trees, and we'll kind of be back once we've got our area cleared out. Okay, so we've got our little space available, and now let's go ahead and begin to map out our little intercity bus plaza right here. So for those that live in England, I'm sure you have these kind of things elsewhere in the world as well. The intercity buses, they kind of function like National Express coaches. So they transfer sims from one city to another. And I think that'll be okay. We've got some nice room for a bit of parkland here as well, which will be nice. Right here, let's maybe come out a little bit further than that. I think we'll just go for 10. Yeah, we're just kind of building our framing right now. You know, things will change as we decide what we do and don't like. I think we can bring that road in here. What I also want to factor into this area as well is the University of Technology. It's probably going to sit along here, kind of factored in with the Intercity Bus Plaza as well, which will be fun. So we want another kind of dedicated little one-way slip road as well for the buses to enter this little high-speed rail over here. So we'll have that as like that. Maybe even upgrade this to the highway about here, maybe. Yeah, I think we'll have that as the highway road. I guess we'll see. We also need to get some kind of highway decoration in here as well. Not sure, maybe we carry on our zoo fence pattern. We'll see. Okay, then let's grab ourselves a little one-way road. Okay, then what I want to do is let's draw out by 420. I want to leave 5 tiles here, I think. So we'll do the same on this side as well. Yeah, we've got 5 there. And then with these roads on the side, we're going to downgrade into just the regular one-way road. And the reason for this is because the change in the road texture generates us a pedestrian crossing, which is going to be good from getting people kind of in and around this place to walk into the industrial estate if they're commuting here for work. They will just walk around them, but you know, it's nice to see them kind of coming across and using the different path networks that we're getting here as well. Okay, so let's go ahead and place in the transport hub. So, public transport hubs, here we go, Bus Intercity Plaza. What's it actually called? The Bus Intercity Bus Hub. It's not a bus plaza. I don't know why I refer to it like that, but I do. And I think we'll go... I think about there I should do. So super impressive looking building. This is like a really nice looking asset. See, we've got room for our own bus lanes that bus lines that will travel around Palaven, at least this area of Palaven anyway. And then there's a section as well at the back for the intercity buses that will arrive. So now this is in, they will start arriving into the map. You'll see them. You know, they'll start coming off the highways, very similar to how external passenger trains travel on your rails. Once this is in, you'll start to see intercity buses coming in. And it'd be a nice way to get some tourists and visitors into the city, which will be grand. So I think this is Palaven's first transport hub. It does deserve a little something special outside it, so I think we'll dive into the wonderful world of unique buildings. Now, if you're wondering, your panel might look different to mine. This is obviously dependent on which content creator packs you're playing with and which DLCs as well. However, if you didn't know, once you have unlocked all of the unique buildings in one city, you are able to then place them in another city without meeting that requirement. However, you still need to reach the milestone. So, for example, the Lazarette Plaza, which is this one, the unlock requirements for this is to have like a really unhealthy population. I'll pop that up on screen now what the requirement is, which I have done in another city. But I can still place it in here, even though the population is relatively healthy, so I'm happy with that. We can see that we haven't reached a population of 9,000 yet, so I don't have access to my level 6 unique buildings. But once we do hit 9,000, all of those level 6 unique buildings that I've unlocked in other save games will be available in Palaven. So if you don't have these available, either because you haven't played another city before, I know a few people are following along with this city, which thank you by the way. But yeah, if you're wondering why, that's why. If you don't have them available, feel free to use your regular plazas under the Parks and Plazas option. You can squeeze in some picnic tables in here, or trees, or the Paradox Plaza. Yeah, but I think because it's a public transport hub, I'm going to go with a new unique plaza, which will be very fun indeed. So I think maybe we run with... I think we'll go with the Lazarette Plaza. And it's kind of symbolic of the transport hub as well, because it's kind of these like, almost like Slenderman looking dudes that are hanging outside the bus plaza. I called it a bus plaza again, didn't I? Well, it is going to be a plaza once we finish anyway, so it's fine. Okay, so we're not going to get it quite central, are we? Or are we? What kind of tileage are we working with here? So from the crossroads, we've got 6. Oh yeah, we are. We are perfectly symmetrical here. Okay, that's wonderful. That's very nice indeed. So this may change positions throughout the build. I guess we'll kind of see how we're feeling about it. And now what I want to do is start to get some of our zonings in here. So we'll go for 2 big corner commercial. And last episode as well, during the detail time lapse, we actually hit the previous milestone, which I haven't run through yet. So we hit Big Town, which has unlocked campuses areas for us, which we'll be working on shortly. We're also getting access to Metro, which I don't think we'll run any Metro in this part of the map because it's kind of small town. I don't think we'll run Metro here. Maybe, we'll see. At level 5's Blimps Intercity Bus, which is great. We also unlocked a bunch of the new zonings. The high density and the office, which is grand. So I think we're also going to factor in a little bit of office zoning into this as well. So office zoning is essentially high density industrial zone. It satisfies your orange industrial demand down here. However, it requires higher educated workers. So you can see office areas offer workplaces for educated citizens. Make sure you have a university in the city to provide suitable workers. So we don't have a university right now. I'm aware of that. However, we will be building that next episode around here. So don't worry about that too much right now. They will just about survive. And once that university is in, they will thrive. Super. So I think it's time, guys, to introduce the first elevated zoo path of Palaven, which is tremendously exciting news for all of us, I'm sure. Because we discovered these back in Begusia. There, and the zoo. Oh, that zoo one looks really nice. Why have I never used that before? Oh, that's beautiful. Let's do that instead. Screw the vanilla path. So I think we're going to come up by 3 and out by 4. So if you guys don't know, for people maybe new to the channel and haven't watched Begusia, the elevated zoo path is by far the best looking path in the game. It's got these kind of little mossy, like, overgrowth, little hang down bits that come off it. Like, the wood on it is really nice. It's got these really nice handrails on it. Looks super modern. It's really nice, super cool looking asset. I'm a real big fan of this. Then we can come across into the middle, and then we can come out by 4 and down by 3 again. So this is going to work out wonderfully. Let's do the same thing on this side. Make sure we line the pillars up, and then we can come down as well. So this will be really sweet to see. And I think what we'll do is we'll come ahead and turn off all our snapping, and then through the middle of these we'll run some regular zoo paths without the decorations, and we'll take these through the middle about here. So these are going to be more, the ones over the top are more kind of aesthetically pleasing as opposed to functional. They will still get some use, especially when we kind of have some people milling around in here as well. I'm not sure what we're going to do with this space. We may even do something nice with our bus terminal here. So we do need to get the buses in if we want to start drawing in bus lines, of course. So there's 2 options. If you're playing with the base game, you'll only have access to the bus depot. However, if you have Green Cities, you will also have access to the Biofuel Bus Depot. They do pretty much the same job, apart from the Biofuel buses have a slight variation. So it works just like a regular bus depot, except that it sends out Biofuel buses, funnily enough, instead of regular ones. The Biofuel buses are much quieter than regular buses, but carry just as many people. And of course we need to place the depot before actually placing in those lines. And again, this is it's quite a industrial looking asset, so having it kind of parallel, and I want to stick to everything kind of on this angle. So I think this again is going to fit in quite nicely with the industrial theme that we've got going on. We could have even placed it in the industrial area if we wanted to, but I want to try and incorporate it into the build here. It's almost like a nice little supporting building as well, I think. So I'm fairly happy with that. So now we can draw in bus lines, which is fantastic. So let's come ahead into our bus tool. And then with that bus tool, we will begin to start drawing out some bus lines to help service some of these suburbs that don't have any public transport in. And almost try and meet them up with some of our tram lines as well. So first of all, let's go ahead and draw in. So we're going to left click. And then he's going to head out and about the town. So we'll bring him onto the highway. And then let's have a little look see here. So there are cycle lanes through here as well. They're on this road right here. Kind of one stop every 2 or 3 blocks is a good rule of thumb to stick to. And we'll bring it down here as well. And then we'll circle him near the main road so you can merge onto the trams if they wish. And they're not too far away from this tram stop either. Then we'll come outside the schools here. This will be really nice. So that whole process of, bus lines around residential areas aren't going to be too effective because Sims never travel from residential to residential. They travel from residential to commercial or industrial or schools and plazas and parks, etc. So having a bus stop right near our schools is going to be useful. And I think what we'll do is we'll bring him by here and then he can stop near the industrial area. And then he's going to come back and complete his line. And then we'll start to see the first buses emerge, which will be fantastic. Let's go ahead and grab him. So they have a slightly different model. This is the regular bus model. And the Biofuel bus as well. Change up the colour. We'll go with kind of like nice, modern looking, almost clean white bus. We'll have some contrasting colours as well. Maybe throw in like a black and like quite a dark grey. Be quite nice. So you see now, they'll stagger out onto the line. They're kind of merging into one another right now because, same thing happened with the trams. Once they spread out, they'll be fine. And we'll hopefully see an intercity bus arriving fairly soon as well. So if you're looking to kind of build an intercity thing, leaving them with relatively close highway access is always a good idea. Because, they're coming from the highway, so say for example if I were to place this bus hub over here, then the intercity buses would have to travel all the way through town in order to get to it, whereas they're right by the highway here. They're going to have really easy access into this area. So we'll start to see some assets generating up now. I think I'm happy with the kind of the Denny's Red Robin looking diner. This is a pretty nice looking asset as well. I think we'll wait for the office zonings to level up a little bit first and kind of see what we get in. Yeah, here's the Biofuel bus. Let's have a look at the stops. So we've already got 135. So you see, the busiest bus stop is right by the schools and the parks here because there's lots of reasons for people to travel. And right now, a few of our buses are full. We can probably afford a few more, so I'm probably going to boost up the number of vehicles on the line up to 10. And we'll hopefully see some of that demand get satisfied as well. So that's one bus line in right now. I'm fairly happy with that. Let's go ahead and join another one. So I want to serve this suburb now as well. So again, we'll come ahead and draw in. And I think I'll leave one little space here. And then this time he's going to head out down this road. He's not going to join the highway. And then we'll have his first stop here. So again, if they want to, they can switch lines right here or arrive at the industry. And then we're coming down a big commercial high street right here. So this would be a good place for one. Again, it's near the tram stop, so if they want to switch public transport methods, then they can jump on the trams right here. They can also travel to the park and the nearby commercial. And then what we'll do is we'll run him through the town centre. Bring him down there. Again, more reasons for him to visit. And then we'll start to map out his little route around our little suburb here. These are fairly big blocks, so we're good to leave a couple more spaces here. And then we'll have one through here as well. You can see, the public transport makes people happy, makes them easier to get around. to get around the world. And then let's have one. Yeah, so we could bring it back through here now. That's probably the best idea, I think. So we'll bring it right outside the park. It's going to be nice to almost see that bus stop generated by the park as well. That'll be a nice little bit of detailing. And then we can bring it back along the road. I think this will probably be a little too close, but we'll stop it there as well. And then again, he can head back into the Intercity Bus Plaza. Again, we'll grab it again. Let's change the line. We'll go for a black this time. And what I'll do as well off camera is I'm going to go around and name these buses. Oh, I hate these buildings. Go away. We'll go ahead and name the bus lines. It makes us a lot easier to keep track of them in the future. Super. So let's check out some of these bus stops. So there's one right here by the forestry. It's really nice. There'll be one on the main road here as well. So bear in mind, like the ones on the main road with the cycle lanes, still look quite nice. You can kind of see how the pavement bends in where the bus stop is. So let's take a little look at this new bus line and see what's going on. So there's 110 at one stop. And you can see that all the people in this residential area are waiting to get out into the world. They have discovered buses for the first time. So let's have a look again. So we've still got some buses staggering out. Just staggering on the line, similar to how they do. Once they spread out, you can see there'll be a little bit of a delay between when one leaves and when one goes. So that just helps them spread out on the line a little bit further. Maybe a touch too close to the junction here for this particular bus. But let's take a nice ride around town. Let's get a view of Palaven. So you can see now this bus stop is starting to clear up. So, you know, buses, they're not super essential, but they do add a nice kind of aesthetic to the town. And, you know, it's... I think most small towns have a bus service, especially if they have a tram service as well. I think they're pretty much guaranteed to have buses too. You can see now the distance between them is growing further and further. Okay, I'm back, guys. Took a couple little hours break because it is incredibly warm here in England today. And I was sweating like a cat trying to bury a dump on a marble floor. It's not pleasant to record in this heat, so we're gonna resume where we left off. So I want to kind of come back to the plaza here now. We've got some bus lines working around. We may even also make a little dedicated kind of aesthetic school bus line here. Probably do that towards the end. But now I want to work on the transition between the road infrastructure and the actual bus plaza itself. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to come in and grab a park asset and use this as a way to extend out. So a couple of episodes ago we used the large playground. Now let's have a little look at this. It looks like we can centralise it with the rest of our assets here. How's that looking? I think that's okay. We'll run some commercial around this as well. Let's maybe go for a couple of 4x3s here and there. So in order for them to cross the road here, they're going to need a pedestrian crossing, and they don't have one right now, and implementing one is going to involve upgrading a section of this road, which will look super weird. Although I guess actually we could do a 2-lane highway. If we did the 2-lane highway to there, this would also, by the way, be a perfect chance to do some part life cheese by charging people to get back in too. But I don't think we're going to do that here. So let's go ahead and get the path networks in. We're going to stick with the regular old gravel paths whilst we are working with them extending out of the park asset here. So we'll connect them through there, and then we'll bring this down through that. One in there as well. And that gives us some more opportunities for another little 4x3. Wonderful. And then we'll do the same here too. There is just about a sweet spot where we can hook in here. And then we've got an opportunity here as well. So let's clear out some of this stuff we did a couple of episodes ago. Give ourselves a little bit of leeway. And then we'll take away some of this fencing as well. Okay, and then we'll grab... I think we'll switch to nature reserve for this bit since it's a little more country. A little more kind of country roads, take me home kind of vibes going on. And then we can bring it... Let's actually come out this way and then hook in there. So it's a very small connection here, that's fine. And then we'll also bring it down there as well. And possibly here as well, yeah, we might as well, whilst we're kind of in this direction. We'll have one right there. And then maybe like a little loop, and maybe let's pop in a centerpiece of... How about one of the redwoods? I don't think we've used them too much yet, have we? Yeah, I don't think I like the ones with decorations here either. Let's downgrade these into... Or maybe just the ones kind of outside the path. So almost like the tree is going to be lit up at night because of the little lights. I think having them all as decorations is a little bit overkill. So yeah, we'll do that. That's fine. By the way, guys, I have also ordered a new microphone. So hopefully the audio quality should be improving a hell of a lot more going forward. Probably the next episode, and we'll have the new microphone, I think. Okay, let's have a little think about what's going to go on here. Could we do a sunken tunnel? Would that be too much? Let's try it. Let's try to see how it looks next to the highway. I think a bridge would be too much, but I think like a little underpass would work. I think we'll try it. I'm going to clear out all these trees here and then set this underpass up, and then we'll be right back. Wonderful news, everyone. People are beginning to use the paths, which is just amazing. Thank you so much. Really appreciate that. I'm glad that they are receiving some use. So yeah, sorted out the underpass. We'll see if it gets much use. Oh yeah, there you go. First two people. Someone is taking a dog for a walk under there as well. Just took out one of the houses here. And this place definitely needs some pretty chunky detailing in order to kind of fill out a lot of these empty spaces. Lots of fences around here as well. Just kind of bear in mind, you know, they're walking near very high-speed roads, so no, it would make sense for there to be like a little, almost like safety barrier here to stop people just wandering onto the high-speed road. Even if it's on like a little farming fence, you know, just something there. Great. So again, all about improving the walkability of the city. Oh dear, no, thank you, go away. Let's have a quick scan around our assets that are beginning to come in. I've added in some commercial along here. I'm happy with these. These can all stay. Yeah, I don't think it's looking too bad now. Let's work on the road network a little bit. Let's bring these two side roads up by 20 tiles. So we might take that one back a little further. And if we draw this one out, we'll bring it right behind the intercity bus place right here. Have we actually had any intercity buses yet? I don't think there's any in there right now, is there? No. Well, hopefully one will be arriving soon. It'd be terribly disappointing if they don't arrive just yet. But okay, that's fine. Yeah, okay. And then I think we're going to have the university kind of sat probably like here. Yeah, this will be the start of our university. So you can imagine, you know, you've got this little mini transport hub build going on here, and then soon we'll have a University of Technology. And I'm actually thinking, just kind of some little off-camera thoughts, of integrating the train metro hub into the actual university itself. I think that'll be something really cool to do. Let me know if you guys fancy a bit of that. It's something that we can do. So we'll hook this in, get some nice angles going on. And we'll hook in right there. This junction's a little bit sketchy. It's a little bit suspect, but it'll do for right now. No, there will be other connections in here as well. Let's have a quick traffic light check. I think everyone's good. How's the traffic coping now the buses are on the road? Everyone's fine, yeah, see. We're getting some highly educated issues now. So it is time for a university. So the level 3s will require higher educated workers. And we're starting to see a couple of those issues popping up, but it's fine now. We've had a little bit of abandonment here. That's fine. We'll just get him to come back in. Yeah, and these guys will be satisfied towards next episode as well, when we work on the university. Yeah. But that feels, guys, like a good place to jump into the old detailing time-lapse. We're going to fill out some more trees here, make it look a little more organic with the way the rest of this highway is kind of flowing with rocks and trees and stuff, help it blend in a little more because the transition's very harsh at the moment. And also do some detailing around here as well, maybe a touch more zoning. And we'll hopefully see some buses arrive momentarily. And yeah, we'll be right back. Alright guys, that is going to do it for today. If you enjoyed the video, a like below is very much appreciated. Equally as much if you didn't enjoy it, please feel free to leave a dislike as well. I'm really happy with this. It's a really nice, cute block, and it's nice to have the first transport hub in Palaven as well. And the first intercity bus plazas are also arriving. I did just give it a quick Google because they were taking so long to come in. There does appear to be a bug where they don't come in. You almost have to place the building, delete it, and then place it again. I haven't had that issue, but if you are, maybe that's the reason. But they are coming in now, very slowly. I guess it's also determined on the kind of tourist attraction value of your city as well, because it's bringing tourists in to actually visit the city. So that also might be a slight issue why they are a little delayed coming into the city. But a nice little centre of commercial and office zoning all focused around this thing, and they kind of walk out and see the native tree of Palaven, the big pine, which is quite symbolic, I think. Also throwing a park life asset in there as well, and lots of zoo paths around here. Next episode we will be working on the university, so I hope you are looking forward to that, because the city is now in dire need of higher educated citizens, so that should be fun. But otherwise, I will leave it there. I want to thank you all so much for watching, and as always, enjoy the rest of your day.